The Crow Salvation is about a character named Alex who's been in jail for the past 3 years, accused of killing his girlfriend. He's going to get executed that night, which he does. You get the crow that comes, resurrects Alex. Now it's time for Alex to go on his journey and figure out the truth of who actually the real killer is. Hey everybody, how you doing out there? So I'm on The Crow Salvation. This is the third movie in the franchise. This is the first one that went straight to video. I got one more after this before we get to the remake August 23rd, which is actually coming around the corner here. So hopefully I can get that fourth one with Edward Furlong out before that remake. So since I don't really have any nostalgia, I've never seen this movie before, let's just jump right into the review. And the first thing I want to talk about in the likes is our main character. I can't remember the actor's name, but the character's name is Alex Corvez, and he does such a terrific job, a great job, very believable. I even love his one-liners. Every single joke lands, and you know they always say about comedy, timing is everything. Two really cool things I liked about this guy, really liked about him is, the first thing is he actually does something with his hand after he gets resurrected and he realizes, oh, I can't die, or I could actually heal very quickly, which is awesome. And he even has a little smirk, and that did make me laugh. The other thing is what he does to the villains, where he actually teases the villain just like a cat teases a mouse before the cat's gonna kill that mouse. And the same thing here, where he's teasing the bad guys before he's going to take them out. I really did like that there. I really enjoyed the action scenes. Well, there's a decent amount of fight scenes in this, and they all do a good job on the fight scenes there. There is definitely some cool car chases going on. It's very violent, so that's really cool. It might not always show a lot of blood in this movie, but it shows a decent amount of it. I really do like the story. I actually like the scripts, a good job on that. I think it was directed very well. And the final I want to talk about is the villain. Actually, all the villains. The main villain, the henchmen, the henchwoman. I think they all do a good job with their acting, just like everybody else does good with their acting. But they are scumbags, and they play that down to a T. And I really like that, where they, oh, I cannot stand you, and I can't wait for the crow to take you out and get your just desserts. And moving on to the dislikes, I gotta talk about the hero just slightly that bothers me enough to actually say something. It may not bother you that much or at all, but it's actually about the white makeup and the black lines around the eyes. Now, the black lines around the eyes, I'm fine with. It's the white makeup. It felt like he didn't have a whole lot on him. Compared to the first two, it felt like he had like little here or there. And I understand this was a lower budget movie, but this didn't actually fill that low budget. Yes, this movie was probably filmed in '99, because it does still have that kind of 90s feel to it there. But it felt like that, they couldn't get like a little extra white makeup for him each day to film their scenes, because he doesn't look like a vengeful spirit that the crow brought back to go after the people that wronged him. I thought that was horrible. Kristen Dunst is in this from Bring It On, I believe the same year as this movie. She was in the Spider-Man Sam Raimi trilogy and a lot of other movies that she's actually been in, and she's a great actress. But in this movie, she's very bland. She's hardly even in this movie. She feels like she's kind of more of a background character, and it's such a waste of her talent, which really sucks there. And even when something actually happens to her, very cliche in movies, I'm not going to get into it though, that I almost actually didn't care or fear for her life one bit throughout this movie. Now, the next two I want to talk about could be one big dislike here. The first thing I want to talk about is Act 3. When we finally get to the crow versus the big baddie versus the big villain, I actually thought that they really ran out of gas. It was a little bit of moments in Act 3 that I did actually like. I would say this, compared to the first two acts, I felt like they were going very well, great pace for the most part. This really actually went as slow as a turtle, that Act 3, and it was just so disappointing there. And then the other thing that I wanted to add is, this movie is an hour and 42 minutes long. I think it's the exact, if not maybe a minute longer than the Brandon Lee Crow, where the second one, it was less than 90 minutes. So the thing was that I would have to say that I wish that this movie was an even 90 minutes long, even with credits. I would have definitely enjoyed this movie more than I actually did. And then the final dislike is, now the big thing about The Crow, he was looking for someone who took out his girlfriend, and they were saying that this guy had scars, pretty bad scars on his arm. I thought it was very obvious as soon as that they actually showed the person on film. I'm like, oh, it's got to be this person here. And it turned out it really was. It's another thing in Act 3 that they're trying to reveal, and it's like, yeah, I already actually kind of knew it pretty early into the film of who the bad guy was actually going to be here. But overall, I still did enjoy this movie. The Crow Salvation, I'm going to go 3 out of 4 stars. Have you seen this sequel here? Do you like this Crow movie? Do you not like it? Give me a comment down below. We shall discuss it. I will see you guys in the next review. Bye.